thing. I'm just sitting there like a stooge, just taking it from you guys. You got Mr. Fuji, all of them. Yeah, you guys
salt in the
together.
eyes.
Yeah. The great Kabuki, blinding dust. One of my favorite weapons of all time, the green blinding dust. They got to bring that shit back. Hey, kids, I know wrestling. You know what? More foreign objects, more dust, more managers.
So I do think that like if we reverted back in time and we had to play a character and Rob and I were wrestling managers, I would easily be Bobby Heenan. And
for sure.
I think it's pretty clear that Pizzola would be Jim Cornette.
Yeah. You nailed it.
Couldn't you see Pizzola with the tennis racket?
Yeah, I can see Pizzola with he's got a tennis racket rolling in. We need a guy with like chess pieces.
At Mayo Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience, presented by Underdog. Code Mayo at Underdog. Underdog prediction market as well. Go get on that. We'll be talking about prediction markets in about 2 weeks' time, breaking it all down. If you are new to prediction markets, Rob Pizzola will be joining me in studio to do that. But today we're talking about the best bets of the AFC South. Normally it's Cam and Rob. Rob, still sick. So Cam and George joining us this time around like they did for the NFC North. If you're looking for all the division previews, hit the show notes. Fellas, actually, Cam, how's your bird doing?
Ooh, little Stu, he's fantastic. He's chirping right now. He's trying to have sex with I have a stuffed frog, Frankie Frog Legs, and his buddy, Mr. Fuckstick's sleeping right now. But anyway, this dog, anyway, I have a couple videos that I'll put out. And let's just say this bird, he likes the back door.
Oh, George, do you have promiscuous birds around your house sitting right next to you?
No, but they sound very entertaining. I've never considered buying a bird, but Cam's doing a really good job selling me on.
I'm only bird sitting. Like my buddy named it was actually Pat. The bird was supposed to be for me, so they called him Little Stu, Lil Stu, like Lil Sports Brat, the keychain. So bottom line is this: I had all these. You're looking at me like anyway. They were a very popular thing in my day. They were all the sports teams called Lil, like L-I-apostrophe-I-L Sports Brat.
I'm familiar with Lil.
Yeah, but you don't know the little keychains. They have them they were very special for like NFL ones. Anyway, check it out, kids, so you don't think I'm making shit up because it's real. So this bird was my buddy's. It was supposed to be for me, but the house thing, all the other shit I had going on. So I didn't have really time, but now he's away up at his property building a treehouse for his child. And now I've looked like Little Stu so much, a 3-day experience has become a week. And I told him, I want to look after your bird as much as I can. So I got two more days with him. Let's just saying he's a real important part of the team. Pat, know what I'm sick about? What? I got to get a bird for when we do bird themes and stuff. I can bring birds on shows and shit. That's the whole, I have so many fucking antics that I'm coming up. I wrote a song for him. They can remember Steve Winwood, Valerie. Oh yeah. Little Stu, you're the best bird that I see. Fly so free. And then he does this stuff like 80s Steve Winwood. And the best line is avoiding Leo's teeth, which I told you, that's my friend's dog, Leo, who tries to eat the bird stew. But anyway, one night I wrote a song and it's fucking fantastic. I'm going to write more like I did back in the score days, karaoke with Cam. Remember Geoff's Lament, the Chargers song and other. I'm going to have like a 10 to 12 record LP or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I love writing songs.
Did Pat McAfee inspire you with his album that's coming out?
I was doing that. No offense, this guy's making millions of dollars. I was doing this shit 20 years ago. Sorry, I'm not Pat McAfee. And by the way, watch Gabe. Those guys are buddies. He used to watch our show. But Pat, can I not did I not have Cam sings the classics at the score? I did all this shit years ago. People were stealing my shit.
Listen, if you want to bring ideas to the table for these shows, I am all.
I have a million of them written down. More animals, more hijinks, more fucking madness, shit. That's the problem. People got sports shows, whatever. McAfee's smart. Of course he's making an album. That's the whole thing. Everybody, George said it. Everybody can give picks. You're going to bet your own fucking picks anyway. I don't care what your database says, whatever. People are going to make their own decisions. It's good to listen. But right, George, in the NFL, you make money in the NFL, good for you. And I actually had a pretty good year last year. I did well in the NFL.
I'm starting to think McAfee just running the Cam Stewart playbook on bigger scale.
No, he's smart. McAfee's great. And the thing is, he's really good friends with Gabe, and Gabe comes on his show for every Super Bowl. It's like a legend now. It's happening. But Pat, back in the day, McAfee used to say, he used to watch our show. He used to watch Gabe and I. He's actually sitting on national TV. I'm like, wow, he's making millions of dollars, and I'm selling my home. I really fucking need an agent or need to get smarter and stop talking about birds. I really don't know. We can talk football.
Well, we can try that. George, we're talking about the AFC South. The Texans are the favorite. I don't know what to make of the Texans. If you want to tell me that they're representing the AFC in the Super Bowl, I can envision that path. If you told me they're 8-9 because they can't score, I can see that too.
I was early adopter on the Texans, and I thought I was going to be like so niche with this pick. It's like coming to school, you know, with what you think is a unique shirt, and then you see everybody's wearing it. Because everywhere I turn now, people are talking the Texans up. I mean, Sam Monson, who notoriously gave a 1 vote to Justin Herbert for MVP last year, he said that they have the 3rd best receiving core in football ahead of the Minnesota Vikings. I said the Houston Texan narrative has left the barn. We are way too out there now.
Okay, well, let's talk about this for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Is the I don't want to sound like cussed here, but is the Texans receiving core really better than the Jets receiving core? Honestly,
close.
I like the Jets receiving core. I like that they have 2 tight ends. I like AD Mitchell. I like Omar Cooper Jr. Even though I'm hearing he's not performing well at camp. I don't know where he got this Houston Texans 3rd best receiving core in football. Tank Dell has not played in a few years. I don't know if he's overselling that, but my concerns, my only concerns, because I think this is a great defense. I like their number 1 receiver. I like Nico Collins. I think David Montgomery gives them a better rushing attack than the 30th ranked attack last year, better than Woody Marks at least. But I have questions about the O-line. I have questions about their number 2 and 3 wide receivers. That's where the receiving core is quite possibly the weak link besides the O-line.
Well, the O-line's the problem, isn't it? I mean, they can put in 5 new guys. That doesn't guarantee it's not going to be absolute dog shit.
Stroud got killed in that playoff game too. The elements were there, but it was really hard to watch because this defense is elite. Like, it's really special. To George's point, I think Montgomery, Pat, is going to do good things. Basically, the Texans want to turn it into a dogfight. They're going to be an old school football team, fucking pound, and then hit you. Kind of the way the Seahawks were. You know, with Kenneth Walker, they had a running game, but they also had great receivers. I'm going to tell you, I think the Texans, I think they win this division. I know, George, and I guess it's a popular hipster take or whatever, but I look at the other teams in the division and go, who? You tell me who. Maybe Jacksonville?
I think that you can start creating cases, but this is why I started with what end of the Texans spectrum are you going to be on? Because when we talk about year-over-year statistics, offense tends to be way stickier than defense. Not that I think this defense is going to be bad, but all of a sudden, if they're not a top 3 defense anymore, it's much like the Minnesota discussion, except I don't believe this offense is going to start generating 30 points a game. What if all of a sudden the Texans aren't the 2nd best defense, George? They're the 10th best defense. That severely impacts how good they're going to be.
Okay, so I've heard this narrative. I've fought with Pizzola about this. The Houston Texans, I think it's very sticky. I think Will Anderson last year, if not for the Myles Garrett breaking the record, is the defensive player of the year. He's now an elite pass rusher to that level of top 3 guy. I think Danielle Hunter is your other pass rusher and Jadeveon Clowney off the bench.
Awesome.
I think like they have the best corner duo in football with Derek Stingley and Kamari Lassiter, Jalen Petrie at safety. If this defense is not sticky, then I don't know what is, because it is. I find it.
They're the best defense in football.
Well, yeah,
I think they are.
Well, I think they are too.
They probably are on paper going into the year. But again, like, what would you bet if you had to bet on who was the best offense last year? Was it? Let's see. The Rams.
Depends.
The Rams.
Probably the Rams.
The Rams were the best offense. You know, the Bills are going to be up there. The 49ers are going to be up there. But let's just take the Rams as a case example. Assuming everyone stays healthy on this team, because, you know, Stafford goes down, it's not going to be good for their offense. Just like if the Texans lose 2 pass rushers, their defense probably isn't going to be as good. So let's take both things healthy. What is more likely to happen? The Rams continue to have a top 3 offense, or the Texans continue to have a top 3 defense? I think it heavily skews toward the Rams here.
Yeah,
I disagree with you. I think Stafford's getting older. I don't know what's going to happen with the Rams. I can tell you one thing. The Houston Texans, to George, you named all those guys, better than average, getting better, young, good. That's the whole thing, Pat. They can win games with their defense. You saw what the Buffalo Bills did in that game against Houston. They fucking knocked around Allen. Like he was down. It was like wrestling, down. He tried his, smash, Will Anderson. They're murdering a great offense like Buffalo. I know they almost scored with a trick play at the end of the game, but we saw this. This is defense can win championships. I know it's a league where we want to air it out. I love the Houston Texans, Pat, and their offense isn't that bad. They just, you know what I mean? Like, Stroud has a couple bad games. He still has, like, he reverts back to, like, kind of like collegiate Stroud, he gets a little bit rattled and shit like that. And when things go bad, they go really bad. But I'm going to tell you, they're going to have a lot of short fields because of that defense. George said it. Will Anderson, in my opinion, Defensive Player of the Year. I think this team is absolutely going to murder teams, like just absolutely pummel them, Pat. That's the thing. They don't have to score that many points because their defense is just going to create turnovers, short fields.
Potentially. They're the discount Seahawks from last year. The difference is the Seahawks had a good offense. And I just call me a non-believer. Maybe it's just me. Call me a non-believer in this offense, George. I think that this offensive line cannot hold up. And when Stroud, and they have horrible play calling, nothing they love doing more than running on 2nd and 9 for -3 yards.
Seahawks do that.
Listen, I agree. I don't know what to make of the offense. I knew they threw a lot of bodies at it. They said we couldn't run the ball, we couldn't block. So they add David Montgomery. Then they sign Wyatt Teller and Braden Smith. And then they spend their first round pick on another player as well, Keelan Rutledge at guard. So they've tried to overcorrect this problem. Ursery was quite good at tackle last year, second round pick. So there's a lot of boom bust to this O-line. All I know is CJ Stroud is a lot like Jared Goff. In when he is clean in a clean pocket, he's a very accurate quarterback, but his skill diminishes greatly when there's no blocking, as opposed to like an Allen or a Mahomes that can overcome an O-line because of their physical traits. I don't think CJ Stroud has the biggest arm, but I think he is quite accurate. It really hinges on can they get league average O-line play? It's not a good O-line, but can it not be a bottom 8 O-line? And I think that hinges on the entire offense. That's why I can't form an opinion on the offense. I'm actually quite confident in what the defense is, though.
But guys, and I'll use this as an example, Pat, as a Seahawk fan. The Seahawks went out and got Gray Zabel. The guy was fantastic. Like even as a rookie, it kind of anchored the line. Cross, all these other guys, and you saw what Seattle did. So if any of these draft picks work out for the Houston Texans, we're going to be in a very good situation here, and they can work out. So I think this is a Super Bowl contender. I really like this team, like maybe too much.
I don't disagree that they're a Super Bowl contender. I think that, like I said, they could go represent the AFC and potentially win the Super Bowl. But now we have to take them at their numbers. They're plus 125 to win this division. I don't think that they're almost a coin flip to win this division. Like they are a team, like you've kind of pointed it out that, yes, they are a team that can basically beat anyone. But because the offense has the potential to be so bad, they're also a team that can almost lose to anyone on any week.
Yeah, I think they have a stable floor, Pat, but I don't know what the ceiling is. Because I mean, if you don't have a run game and your quarterback's not good and there's no blocking, I don't know. I question your ceiling. Like you can't beat everybody 17-14. That's not the world you live in the NFL. I like their floor, but I agree. I don't like the division price. Even though I think they're the best team in the division, price sensitive, and I disagree with this price.
So let me throw this out to you, Cam. The first 4 weeks of the season, they could be 4-0. There's a possibility they could be 0-4, just based on the teams that they play and the skill sets that present. If the defense is, let's say, 15% worse from its peak last year, and all of a sudden they're not winning games 17-14, they're losing games 21-17. That's in the realm of possibility, especially against these 4 teams. They're at home against Buffalo. Yeah, they're at home. They're home against Buffalo, home Cincinnati, at Indianapolis, home against Dallas. Now could be a 4-0 schedule if the defense shows up and plays. Those teams could simply just outscore the Texans.
Well, think about this. So they're at home against the Bills. They beat the Bills before. No guarantees they're going to do it again. The Bengals at the Texans. I'll take the Texans. I think the Colts are absolute dog shit. They can win that game on the road, and Dallas Cowboys are going to be improved, but Texans have 3 of those first 4 games at home, and I think that's very, very important, a very good home team. And, yeah, I think they'll go 3-1 out of the gate.
They could be 4-0 out of the gate, but those are all, I mean, 3 of those are very losable games with 3 teams with amazing offenses that, yeah, they beat Buffalo last year, and they dominated Buffalo last year, and Buffalo still almost won that game.
That's true. Like, but that's the whole thing. I don't see that. You talk about 20% regression with the defense. And I think, you look at the division and go, okay, we get to play Tennessee and Indianapolis. I think Indianapolis is going to be one of the worst teams in football this year. Yes, we'll get to them a little bit later. I think the Colts suck. They have all sorts of new starters on defense in the secondary, and that's a recipe for disaster. I'm just going to tell you, Pat, this is division. Is Trevor Lawrence going to have the same year that he had? I think things set up very, very well for this team, and I think there's nowhere to go but up. But you're right. Everybody and their mother loves this team right now, and that's a problem. And the price isn't great, but I would take them at plus money to win the division. A bet is a bet to me. If you're getting them at plus money, take them.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's me. I know you guys are looking for more value, and we're always looking for more, but I'll take plus 120 on Houston, please.
But I don't even need to look for more value. I just don't think it's a valuable bet. So it's just a no bet for me.
I'll bet it. It's plus money. I'm not laying juice, I tell you that, but I'll take them at plus 120.
Well, what would be the difference in laying juice? If it was minus 110. If you
no, plus 120, you're getting money back. I'm not laying 20 cents, like 40 cents. That's a big difference. 10, 20 cents. Like, yeah.
But the way that I've capped it, I don't think that the plus 125 is a good price for me either. So it doesn't matter if it's 40 cents one way or the other. I think it's just a bad price.
Fair enough. I'm just saying, I in my world, at plus 125, I will bet the Houston Texans to win the division. I want more too, but I'm not getting it.
Did you know there's a version of your home that you haven't even lived in yet, where the rooms actually feel finished? And more importantly, the sun isn't blasting you in the face at 6 a.m. Blasting in the face at 6 a.m. Don't know what you're up to, but the sun will get you. That's what it'll do. It'll wake you up for the day, and it'll be awful. Everyone's had those blinds that drive you insane. They're crooked, one side rolls up higher than the other, and you live with them for way longer than you should because replacing blinds feels like a hassle. Blinds.com actually makes it incredibly simple. You can customize your window coverings, get samples shipped to your door fast and free, and even add professional measurement and installation. They've covered more than 15 million windows over 30 years, so they know what they're doing. Right now, Blinds.com is giving my listeners an exclusive $50 off when you spend $500 or more. Just use code PATMAYO at checkout. Limited time offer, rules and restrictions apply. See Blinds.com for details. Summer grilling? Awesome. Off the charts good, 10 out of 10. Until you start cooking anything besides burgers and steaks or hot dogs, vegetables disappear through the grates. Fish sticks, well, they fall apart. That's for cust. And sometimes cleanup takes longer than actually cooking the meal. That's why I've become obsessed with Hexclad Barbecue Collection. Their hybrid barbecue grilled pan gives you the searing power and smoky flavor you want from the grill, but with the non-stick convenience that makes fish, seafood, and vegetables way easier to cook, making me healthier too, because I'm eating more vegetables and fish now. The perforations still let the heat and smoke through without sacrificing half your dinner to the grill gods. Plus, cleanup, incredibly easy. There's a reason Gordon Ramsay uses Hexclad, and every Hexclad product comes with a lifetime warranty. For a limited time only, my listeners get 10% off with my exclusive link. Head to hexclad.com/mayo. Again, support this show and get 10% off at hexclad.com/mayo. Make sure to let them know that I sent you. The Jags are plus 190 to win the division, and I think what really got overlooked with the Jags, besides Emerson running off, the schedule on his cup on Sunday Night Live over and over and then turning the season around, at plus 190, I don't know if I like that price either, but I think that these two teams are closer than maybe the odds are dictating. And when I take a look back and really assess what happened, George, with the Jag season, we saw the Liam Coen offense hits. When they get Jakobi Meyers, weirdly enough, it's not him who does everything. It opens up Parker Washington to be a bigger part of this offense. And they really start to gel after that. But no one talks about how good the Jags defense was last year. It was a top 10 unit.
Yeah, they fifth in defensive EPA, which is odd because, Pat, they didn't generate a great pass rush. Usually you're a top 10 defense because your pass rush is there. They do lose Devin Lloyd in free agency, one of their big defensive playmakers. That being said, Pat, it's not just that Jakobi Meyers arrived. What people don't remember is Brenton Strange also returned from injury. So it's kind of this all of a sudden now we've got this plethora of weapons that we didn't have to start the year. I think Trevor Lawrence started to feel more comfort. And then you could really see the numbers. Like if you take from the moment Jakobi Meyers arrived and Brenton Strange also returns from IR to the end of the season, they were like a top 8 offense the rest of the year. So I think the Jaguars resemble closer the second half team versus that they were before the Meyers acquisition. And yet they probably don't win 13 games this year. There's a world where the Jags are better, but don't have as much success as they did last year.
So they're a lot like the Bears in that way?
Yes. Sometimes we think success is measured just by record, whereas I like to see how they rate as a team versus other teams on a scale. So I actually like the Jaguars. That being said, they didn't bring in a lot of guys. The only real acquisition is Chris Rodriguez, who kind of was like a replacement for Travis Etienne, who went to the Saints. They lost Devin Lloyd. I guess the biggest acquisition, because I thought their draft was quite weird as well, and we can talk about their GM thinking he's smarter than the entire brain trust of people who do this thing. I thought that it's Travis Hunter returning. That's the big acquisition, right? It's getting a guy on both sides of the ball, presumably to play a lot more corner. Parker Washington, once Jacoby Myers stepped in, everyone kind of slotted behind and was able to play in their more natural role. So I like the Jags. I also don't think I like the price to win the division, though. That's kind of where I am on that.
So I, like you, I think that plus 190 is probably not enough. Not that I love the long shots in this division. It's just, I would probably need more on Jacksonville to say that they're going to repeat what they did in the second half of the season. But to your point, George, I want to throw this to Cam now that he's back. Cam, I thought you were intensely listening to what George was saying. You were just frozen on the screen.
Yeah, it said lost connection. Usually I'm like, smash. I'm like, stay calm, man. Just reboot. No, I actually was intently listening to George. But know what I learned something about you two guys that I already knew? You're both greedy. The number, you're not going to get more than plus 190. You take it or you don't take it. I need a little bit more. I need a little bit more.
But the answer is I'm not taking it. That's the decision for me.
Yeah, well, that's the books. They're not going to give you plus 240 or anything like that. Yeah, don't take it. I'm not taking Jacksonville plus 190. But I'll take Houston at plus 125. I like the Jaguars, though. I think there's a lot of things to like. Can Trevor Lawrence repeat that performance? That was something special. Like, he was up and down before. They have a wicked receiving core. Like, that's the whole thing. And they actually have a very underrated defense, too, right, George? Like, they got good. Like, there's some really good parts there. Like, they're kind of a scary football team, the Jaguars.
So part of it for me is entry points, too, when I think of futures. So I look at Jacksonville's first 6 games. Home against Cleveland. Great start to the season. But then they got to go to Denver. They have to play New England at home, at Cincy, and then they have 2 games internationally against Philadelphia.
Yeah, they'd be like 1-4.
Yeah, but they're good in these international games. Those are home games for them.
Yeah. I agree, but I'm very high on Philadelphia. And then obviously we talked about Houston and we like them. I see a world where they're 3-3 at best in the first 6, and there's a chance that they're 2-4. I don't think you'll lose this number. Waiting to, especially with the way Houston's first 7 games break out. I actually am going to wait, but I like the Jaguars.
You're high on the Eagles, George?
I'm very high on the
Can you
Eagles.
give me a spread with the Giants? I want at least 3.5 games minimum.
Seems like you love the Giants.
No, I just don't like Philadelphia. I think
they're
overrated.
I've bet Philly week 1. I've bet Philadelphia a number 1 seed in the NFC. I am in.
Wow. I don't even think they win the division. I think they can come 3rd in that division. That's my opinion.
I don't know about 3rd. Things would really have to go off the rails for them to come 3rd.
They will.
I can see them losing if the Giants or Commanders just all of a sudden just have an outlier season or good. It's more likely Dallas knocks them off, but I don't see a 3rd.
We did the show with Pizzola. Like, even he liked the Cowboys. I know that's his team, but like, he's not a homer.
Yeah, the Cowboys are just way more fun. They don't have constant bad vibes around their team. But the Eagles when was the last time the Eagles lost the division?
Why do you like the Eagles, George? The defense? Okay, we're talking AFC South. I got to get back on track. Sorry.
Yeah.
But you might as well answer the question, George.
Yeah, sorry.
When I started going down, and I was in early narrative street in March, April, we were doing like vibes based offseason talk, and I was down on the Eagles. And then it was like end of May, it was like their clear shift in the way I was thinking about the Eagles, because I looked at their defense and I go, oh, this is really good. I looked at their O-line. I'm like, this is very good. I know they lose A.J. Brown, but I kind of like them drafting Eli Stowers and Mekhi Lemon and acquiring Dontavian Wicks. I'm buying a version that this offense sucked because Kevin Patullo had no creativity, and Sean Mannion's just going to be that much better. So I'm buying, like, Eagles provide the safest floor in football. Their talent is so good, it's worth 9 wins. If they get better coaching and if they play to their ceiling, I think they are a 12-13 win team.
Pretty good case.
Good arguments, George. We'll talk later about the bets. We'll get information and we'll have some fun.
Listen, if you really want to fade the Eagles this year, Cam, we discussed this on the Tuesday show with me, Cust, Jeff, and Garion, that if things just get off the rails for them quickly, just bet on Nick Sirianni first coach fired.
Oh yeah. He's hanging on by a thread anyway. But there's going to be a couple of coaches that might be hanging on by a thread.
Well, but they would. I feel like the Eagles would be quick to pull the ripcord if they started like 1-3 or 0-4 or something like that. Just
they panic about everything, right?
Yeah, it's just
Eagles.
Even if the Bengals start 0-4, Zach, they're too cheap. They won't fire Zach Taylor.
Great call. I love that bet, actually. I think he will be the first coach fired. So, yes, I like that angle.
Back to Jacksonville. Liam Coen, Ice Cream Coen, gets a lot of praise for turning around this offense, as he should. It was excellent a year ago. But Cam brought up, maybe the league will have tape on Caleb Williams. That will shut down the Bears. Do you envision a scenario where the league can catch up to Liam Coen a little bit?
Too many weapons. I think they are 4 receivers deep, legitimately. I think they had no run game. I thought Travis Etienne sucked last year, and I think Luther Burden should be better. And I think Chris Rodriguez is a weapon.
Brashad Tootin.
Yeah,
Tootin.
Yeah, I think there's a world where they actually can get better offensively, not regress. They have too many weapons. I think Parker, and they're all underrated. Parker Washington is an underrated player.
Big time. See what he did against Denver that game?
I know. Okay.
Jacksonville's receivers are awesome.
Maybe I'm on fantasy Twitter too much. Parker Washington is not underrated.
You are, Pat, when you consider his season yardage props in the 700s, and he's 300 to 1 or 400 to 1 to win Offensive Player of the Year. No one thinks of this guy as a Pro Bowl level talent.
I do.
You might, the fantasy nerds do. The fantasies are all bulls on Parker Washington, 100%. But the rest of the world, the betting market, is not saying Parker Washington.
I'm the farthest thing from a fantasy nerd, and I think this guy is absolutely going to rip it up. He's fantastic.
You might say he's like the Matthew Golden of the AFC.
Yeah, he actually delivers. Golden's done jack shit so far.
I think Parker Washington had more yards in one game than Matthew Golden did all last year.
Ding dong. Yeah, that Denver game for sure.
Yeah, come playoff time, if the Jags can just somehow beat the Bills in that game, there's a world where the Jags were in the Super Bowl. It is kind of weird. They were that close.
Well, think about it. Yeah, they beat the Bills, right? They absolutely walked into Denver, murdered them. Denver almost won their game with Simeon as fucking quarterback. So I'm actually with you, George. I think they would have been a better representative. If the Jags played the Seahawks, I think it would have been a better game than New England.
So
that's my take.
Between these two teams, I think the Jags are better than the Texans. I get that the Texans' elite skill is something that you need to advance, especially in December and January, and get there. But there's just a chance that the Jags are this year's Seattle, that all of a sudden the defense stays stable. They're a top 5 defense, and their offense is out of this world.
So you don't like them at 2-1 then? If you think they're better than Houston?
No, not really.
Oh, if you were doing a division parlay, parlaying division winners, would you then take the Jags at that number?
I would take if I had to parlay all the division winners together, I would take the Jags over the Texans. But plus 190 is just I don't want to sit on that for a year, and I don't have the highest degree of confidence. I do think that they're better than the Texans, but again, I'm wrong all the time.
Yeah, well, a lot of us are.
There's a team I really want to bet for a division, but we haven't gotten to them yet.
Well, let's get to them right now. The Indianapolis Colts.
Is that your team, George?
No. I'm going to get even.
I
go deeper into the
you're going with Tennessee Titans? You're an animal, George. You're a fucking animal. The Titans? I like that.
Let's talk Colts for a second. So no one really knows what's going on with Alec Pierce right now outside of them re-signing him to a gigantic 4-year deal. They let Pittman walk. Pierce had an ankle cleanup again at the beginning of the offseason. He has not returned to the field as of yet. They have no idea if he's going to play week 1 or not, or if he'll be limited all year. It seems to be, to go back to those fantasy terms, everyone's just maybe don't draft Alec Pierce unless he's free in your drafts, because there's a chance he's just banged up and doesn't do anything all year long. Daniel Jones apparently coming off an Achilles tear is fine. I don't know if I fully believe that or believe in the upside of Daniel Jones sustained over an entire year, but there was something to the first 10 weeks of last year, Cam, where they were unstoppable.
Yeah, because people didn't expect Jones to do that. Basically, the running backs, they were going wild. But now you're talking about Daniel Jones, a guy that everyone hated, coming off a major injury. They have, five starters on the defensive backfield right now? I'm looking at this team going, how the fuck, 7.5 fucking wins? Are you nuts? I think they can win 4 or 5 games. This is one of my favorite bets. I think the Colts reek. I think they're going to lose so many games this year. Maybe that's like, I don't know. Like I'm being too hard on them, but I don't think Jones is going to get any better.
Well,
and their weapons, like you talk about them, big deal. They have a running game, whatever. Their defense, Pat, they have nobody with experience there. They're going to get murdered.
you need to go to coolbet.com then. You can get that if you're in Canada, outside of Ontario or Alberta. Get your bonus down in the show notes right now because they don't even have a 7.5. They're giving you under on 8.5.
What? What's the juice?
Minus 130.
We'll talk after the show. I need an account. There's no way this team wins 9 games. If they do, I don't know. George, your take? What do you think about the Colts?
I kind of echo it. Like everyone thinks that the hot start last year was like the whole thing, and then Jones gets hurt, and then that's why they fell off. They actually were starting to slow down 2 or 3 weeks before the injury.
Hold on. Jones was playing through a cracked fibula before he tore his Achilles, and the cracked fibula notice came up. That did coincide with them falling off.
I'm not talking just the Kansas City collapse. I thought they looked bad against the Houston Texans. I think even Tyler Warren, Pat, you're a fantasy guy.
I love Warren.
First 8 weeks, Tyler Warren is like the next greatest tight end, and people are like laughing at the Bears for drafting Loveland over Tyler Warren, and the narrative completely flipped by the end of the year. Loveland is clearly seen as the better tight end. I think the offense actually slowed down. People started to figure out some of the Shane Steichen magic that he was doing. That being said, I don't know what to make of this team. I don't know what Daniel Jones looks like off an Achilles. Maybe he's throwing well. Or do any of us think he's going to run?
No.
Without the
not
threat
like he used to.
Without the threat of the run, are we sure that Jonathan Taylor is going to be as successful? Are we sure the O-line is going to be as good? Braden Smith has left the team, and defensively, they really started to fall apart by the end of the year. They ended up 16th in defensive EPA after like being top 6 for like the first 10 weeks. There's a lot not to like about the Colts. That being said, I actually think the market has kind of bet them down. I don't have value on the under right now because I have them at like 7.5 wins, but I think there's a world in which that they could be worse. I don't think that there is a world where they're that much better though.
They got rookies in the secondary, Pat. That's Stewart and Grover. Who's the other? Buckner. They're getting older too. I look at this defense. So many young players. That's going to be a disaster. Jones won't be able to run after that injury. I think he's going to get worse. Teams can stack the box for Taylor. I think the Colts are a 5 to 6 win team. Like you want to give me 8.5? Sign me up now. I got to get an account and I'm ready to go Pizzola style. I wish I had Bitcoin like him, who paid for a beautiful domicile because he's a smart investor. I think the Colts are going to be awful. Like awful. They are not 8.5. Are you nuts? This team's not going to win 9 games. Well, come on, guys. What are we doing here?
Well, let's take a look at the schedule then. Maybe there's something we're missing with this.
I don't know. Maybe I'm on the.
Yeah, Pat. Look at the first 3 weeks. Like, they're probably 0-3, right? The first 3 weeks of the season.
Yeah. I am open to any team beating any team in week 1. Week 1 is weird. And we talk about the amount of people in Survivor that get eliminated in week 1 every year when this like random team that you think is good gets absolutely tuned by some team that's awful. And then by week 3, you were probably right. It's just that 1 week coming out of the gate was an issue. Yeah. At New England. Oh, sorry. That's the regular. That's the preseason. Sorry. Regular season. Baltimore.
First Baltimore at Kansas City.
Yeah. Baltimore, Houston. Kansas City, and Houston. Yeah. It's not good,
but
I mean, they could beat Houston. They could. I am unconvinced that Houston is going to steamroll everybody. Now, Houston might win that game 10-3 or something like that. But you get a special teams return. You pick off Stroud. All of a sudden, you score 20. Like, if you can get to 20 points against Houston, that might be good against Houston most days.
I just don't see how this team win. Like Pat, the fact that they're offering 8.5 on CoolBet, that's to me that's insane. Like I'm looking at this team going, where, how, why? Well, you saw what happened at the end of the year. That's the Colts. Here's the how.
Here's how they do it. They have an international game against Washington. Like if everything breaks right for them and they do hit the over, here's how they do it. They beat Washington. They beat Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh's probably not going to be very good. They beat Tennessee twice. They split with Jacksonville and Houston. They beat Miami. They beat the Giants. And they beat Cleveland. There's your 9 wins.
It's not happening. This team wins 6 games.
But that is how you get to the 9 wins.
Oh yeah, you're right. I understand. That's why they're posting 8.5. They have a favorable schedule down the stretch. They play some real dogs like the Dolphins. Like they're shit. The thing is, though, Tennessee can beat these guys. Like, it's just one of these things.
Sure,
like,
but if you can say that Tennessee can beat these guys, then the Colts should be able to beat the Jags and Colts in one of their home division games too.
I just don't see, like, everything was perfect at the start of the year. Nobody expected Jones to do the things he did, and then the real Colts showed up. What you saw in the second half is what you're going to see this
Well,
year.
I mean, they had Phillip Rivers starting at quarterback for 4 of these games too.
He's starting them again.
Can I make a bull case, like just so we can get clips off shitting on them?
Sure,
And I'll see.
Get the clips, George.
let's hedge our bets. Here's the world where I agree with Pat. The O-line is still very good. The early offense that we saw last year, maybe they're not there, but maybe they're 85% of that. Defensively, maybe Latu becomes that, takes that step and becomes like a defensive player of the year level player. CJ Allen steps in, second round pick they spent on a linebacker. Maybe he is the leader of the defense, and Sauce Gardner looks really good, and not Charvarius Ward at corner actually are capable. But that's the bull case. Like, everything has to go right. And
does anybody want to bet me? Does anyone want to bet me? I'm open for business.
No. Okay. I'm more on your side.
Yeah, I'm not predicting they're going to win 11 games here, but at the same time, I think you've completely written them off when I think that there is a case. Almost like it's sort of like your pro Houston case. I think that there's the other side to it that's reasonable. I think that there is a reasonable other side to this 8.5. It'll be 7.5 at most places that they can get there. And I just look at their schedule and be like, oh yeah, I can see where the wins. Like, they played Dallas at home. I could see Indy beating Dallas at home in week 9. That's very doable.
It's doable. I'm just saying on Cool Bet at 8.5, I think that is a great number if you like the under. Asking this team in this division to win 9 games, even despite playing Tennessee twice, and Tennessee's going to be at a hell of a lot better. Listen later, George has some takes on this, and I'm going to tell you, I see this Colts team as a train wreck, Pat, like an absolute train wreck.
Well, let's get to that case right now. Someone came on this show last year, George, and predicted the Tennessee Titans to win this division.
Who was that?
When they were bad, that same person switched their pick to the Indianapolis Colts. And then they picked that Indianapolis Colts team to go to the Super Bowl. So it really did not work out for Cuss when he kept changing his. He picked 3 teams to win the AFC South last year. None of them won the AFC South last year.
It's the fact that I didn't know it was Cuss, like, off the top just means like I'm brain dead. Like, that, unbelievable. He had the Tennessee Titans to win the division, that with the Colts.
Yeah, and then he ended up going
the
with
wheels fell off.
And then when Daniel Jones got hurt, he switched to the Texans.
He switches a lot.
Is Cuss pro Titans this year? Because I already don't like that.
On
the Jets.
We have not done. We're flying Jeff in to do the win total show, so I'll have that information next week when we record. But I have usually how the Cuss method works is that like 2 years ago he picked in Caleb Williams' rookie season he picked the Bears to go to the Super Bowl. Obviously they were not that good, and last year he hated the Bears because they made him look foolish, and obviously they were very good. So I guarantee that he hates the Titans this year.
So Cuss is the pendulum swinger, right? When it goes one way too far, he like veers to the other extreme.
Yes, you could say mush.
So the Titans are 10-1 to win this division. So the bull case for the Titans is Cam Ward makes a big leap between year 1, year 2. The coaching staff, although your mileage may vary on Saleh and Brian Daboll, on paper versus who they had last year, it seems a lot better, George.
Yeah, Brian Callahan.
Brutal. Just brutal.
Awful. I will say this. There's not a statistical case to say that you like Cam Ward taking the second-year leap. There's nothing. Every single chart that I saw, he's in the bottom left quadrant of every single – like, there's no statistical thing to hang your hat on with Cam Ward. That being said, every video I see of him, his attitude is correct. His arm is electric. Mm-hmm. The only way he fails is if he just sucks. If he can't process the game fast enough. His coaching staff's a lot better. They brought in all kinds of new weapons for him. Carnell Tate, who they spent the 4th overall pick on. They signed Wan'Dale Robinson. What I actually think the real key is their defense. Despite being very bad, bottom 4 in most metrics, they were actually 7th in defensive pressure rate. They could generate a pass rush. And then how they approached the offseason, they said, let's overcorrect and fix our secondary. They bring in Alontae Taylor, Cordell Flott, and Joshua Williams. They're just like, let's just blast 3 positions, paid a ton of money, and hopefully it's much better than it was last year. That being said, you are literally banking on Cam Ward stepping up, and I don't love that they didn't address the O-line. I think the O-line is quite bad outside of two positions. They need JC Latham to really become the first round talent that they drafted a couple years ago. But I have boom bust QB, boom bust receiving core, boom bust O-line, boom bust D-line. They're like, I can have egg on my face. I think the Titans can win 10 games and win the division. And I think the price is too rich. And I think there's a world where the Titans are just one of the 3 worst teams in football again, and Cam Ward sucks, and they got to find a quarterback next year.
I got to tell you, George, I love that take. And, you know, we talked, Pat, about alternate lines and stuff, and this is a team, you're right, lots of volatility. They could be awful or they could actually win 9 or 10 games. I'm with George. I love over 6.5 with this team. And I think just Robert Saleh coming in there with the defense. Let's remember another thing that people don't talk about. Joey Sly missed so many damn kicks for this team too. Like in games, it was fucking awful. Their defense was playing well. They're on the field. Miss. I remember a game he missed the first 3 kicks. I'm like, shit, man, they should be winning this game. And they're down. Like, things are going to improve for this team. I'm telling you, Pat, I'm not looking for alternate lines, but 6.5, that's a number that we can get there with. The Tennessee Titans are winning 7 or more games, in my opinion. I love this team. I like the over for them. Colts for under. You know how I feel about. Give me the Tennessee Titans as a team on the rise. They can win 7+.
Do you know who their kicker is this year?
Who?
Joey Sly.
You know, it's a problem. You better figure it out because he was fucking brutal. He was really good in college at Virginia Tech, too. I don't know what happened to this guy. Like, he had the case of the shanks. That's the thing. You need a solid kicker. Like, we don't talk about this stuff, but George, you know this stuff. Like, did you watch like Titans games? Like, they had some of the worst kicking and special teams I've ever seen. Like, their special teams needs to improve. It's a real underrated problem.
Well, I would swing the other way with that. I think their kicking team was really bad. They had essentially the best return game in football.
I'm talking about, like kicking, punting. No, the return game's fine. It's fine. Very good. In fact, you're right, Pat.
I can see, I like the gamble of 10-1 to win the division, but just because, we've made the anti case. I mean, you guys made the bull case for the Jags and Texans. I tried to make it for the Colts, but we have talked about the downside and flaws of these teams as well. That I agree with Cam. Like, if Saleh can come in and take the 28th ranked defense and make them the 15th ranked defense, which I don't think is completely inconceivable after what we saw him do with the third unit of the 49ers last year playing real defense. It's like he can go, like we talked about in the NFC North show with Brian Flores, that he can figure things out with the personnel that he has. I think Saleh's on that short list of guys that can do that. And look, I think the big hinge here is, what do you make of Daboll as a coach? Like, is he actually a good offensive mind, or did he just have Josh Allen?
I will say in his first year with, first of all, he fixed Josh Allen. He took him to another level. Now, I'm not giving him all the credit because Josh is obviously an elite quarterback, but he gets to New York, kind of revives Daniel Jones in his first year. They get way ahead of schedule, win the division. I thought Jackson Dart looked good as a rookie last year. That's Daboll. I think Daboll is actually quite a good offensive coordinator. I don't think he's like Ben Johnson level but he's like maybe the 12th best offensive coordinator. That's a massive step up for what Cam Ward had. And like, if you watch every Cam Ward video, the guy has the right mentality. He lives in the film. And his arm is truly electric. Like, I remember his first touchdown where he's like going all the way to his right and he throws cross-body left. Like, absurd. You're not supposed to make that throw.
He had like 5 of those last year where it's just like, where is Cam Ward going? Oh my God, there's someone wide open. He hit him in stride somehow down the left side of the field. He probably needs a clean... Although he made the throws, probably needs to clean up some of that decision-making.
Yeah.
Also, the carelessness in the pocket. Sometimes I thought he took sacks that he shouldn't have. He also dropped balls, like he fumbled while getting sacked. And I don't know why they didn't address the O-line. So I don't know how that aspect is going to, like, I don't know in what world the O-line looks better without improving it, without adding to it. That being said, I like everything else. I think the defense, they spent big money everywhere. The second year, they brought in Jermaine Johnson. They traded him for Devondre Sweat. They signed John Franklin Myers, $20 million a year from the Broncos. They spent a first-round pick on Keldrick Falk. Remember, they had 2 firsts. They spent a second-round pick on linebacker Anthony Hill. Like, they put resources into the defense. I actually think this defense could play at a top 10 level, building off the corner block of like being the 7th best defensive pressure rate team last year. If they can get pressure at a high level and the talent is better and Robert Saleh is there, they can be the 10th best defense. What Cam Ward can be, I have no idea. I can't make a statistical case why I like Cam Ward. I just see wow throws and I say there's maybe 8 quarterbacks in the league that can make that throw.
You should have better weapons as well, no?
Yeah.
Wandale and Tate
Yes.
coming in.
Yeah,
That should help.
Wandale Tate.
Yeah, big time.
Calvin Ridley's still there.
Yeah.
So
big time.
is Canadian
Yeah.
legend, what is it, Alec Aomanor.
Yeah, and Chamari DK, like these guys were young last year.
Yes.
We're like, let's make an assumption that they get a little bit better in year 2. There's a lot to like. It just, I wish they drafted or they took an offensive lineman, they signed one, just one, something. In fact, they lost Kevin Zeitler, didn't replace him. So I don't know what to make of the O-line. That's where my hang up is on this team.
I got to tell you guys, and you guys know the business of sports betting, like, you know what I mean? They got to post a 5.5 to 6.5. They know, like, this team is very close to being decent. I'm with you, George. Like, I'm not sure 10 wins. It may be a little ambitious, but 7 to me, 7-8 wins. Yes. It's very attainable. I agree with him. I think there will be a top 10 defense. I think Saleh takes these guys and they become animals. We've seen Cam Ward at Miami and Washington State, Pat. He does a lot of crazy things. And look at the weapons he had last year. They were shit. They were horrible. And the defense was on the field all the time. The defense is going to be much improved. There's a lot to like. And if you're going to get better, this is the division to get better in. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, no, but why is that? We talked about 2 teams who you think are Super Bowl contenders.
No. I said that the Colts suck. I think Houston's great, but there's volatility there. And the Jacksonville, who knows? Like, I'm just saying, I like them, but I'm just telling you, the Tennessee Titans were not that far away, and they were, like, everyone's talking train wreck. The fact that they posted that win total at 6.5, as I said, not 5.5, 4.5, like, they're good. Like, they're going to be good, strong word. Okay, they're going over their wins total. I'm very confident they win 7 games.
Cam, you're getting like
I like their over as well. I
6.5.
think they're going to be a good team, and I do. And I'm kind of with you, George. That watching Cam Ward, you see it. Whether it can all come together, that's to be seen. That's the bet, really. Can it all come together? We're not looking for a year 1 to year 2 Drake May type like leap where, hey, Drake May looked pretty good and then he was awesome in year 2.
Yeah.
We're looking more for like, how am I trying to think? How good was Josh Allen year 2? Because in year 1 he was kind of a disaster. In year 2 you're like, hey,
he's much improved.
Well, Caleb Williams too, right? It was he didn't look good in his rookie year. He he was seen as like the number 3 guy behind May and like Daniels. And then he looked really good with better coaching.
And I'll tell you one thing, Cam Ward, George said it. This guy's going to watch tape. He's going to get better. He's a gamer. He's one of these guys, like, even what team he went to in college, like, you know what I mean? He showed up and he delivered. He's one of these guys. I don't think he's going to accept this bullshit. Like, he's going to go, let's go, man. We're going to do better. I'm going to do better. I'm going to watch film and I'm going to grow. He's going to make a lot of wicked plays. Sure, he's going to still make some mistakes, but he's going to make a hell of a lot more good plays. And that defense is totally different than the guys they had last year. Much improved. Like, I see crazy improvement there, Pat. I like top 10 defense. I like your style, George.
You know the Rorschach test where it can either look like a bunch of splotches on a card, or some people say I can see an elephant. That's how I see Cam Ward. Like, you got to really fill in the gaps on what he did last year, because it doesn't look like a fully formed picture. But there's little moments there where you're like, maybe I could squint and see something.
I don't know, George. Am I still using crayons at the restaurant, to go through the maze like fucking Homer Simpson? But anyway, I see it can't get any worse. Let's put it that way with this team. It can't get worse.
I've bought a ton of stuff from Wayfair over the years, and one of the biggest upgrades for us has been outdoor furniture. We needed something that could handle real life, kids, weather, people constantly being over here and using it, but without spending a fortune. Wayfair made that easy to find, that special something that fit our space, the style, and our budget. And now you can shop with Wayfair Verified, where product specialists use a 10-point quality inspection to hand vet pieces for things like materials, functionality, features, and even how long they take to build. Plus, there are more than 20 million verified 5-star reviews with real customer photos, so you can actually see what you're getting before you buy it. Join Wayfair Rewards today to get 5% back on every purchase and start saving on your next home upgrade. Head to wayfair.com to shop all things home. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair. Every style, every home. My relationship with money has most certainly changed over the years. When I was younger, it was basically make money, spend money. Hopefully there's enough left over, and even if there wasn't, we'll figure that out. That's a problem for future Pat Mayo to deal with. But now, with a family, business, investments, a million different expenses, I actually do want to know where everything is going. That's where Monarch has really helped me out. It puts your accounts, investments, spending, and saving goals all in one place so you can actually see the entire financial picture. And I really like the AI assistant. You can ask specific questions about your own finances instead of digging through months of transactions for yourself. Write your own money story with Monarch. Use code PATMAYO at monarch.com to get your first year of Monarch Core half off, just $50. That's 50% off your first year at monarch.com with code PATMAYO. If you've been sitting on a business idea forever, at some point, you just got to start. Shopify removes a lot of the excuses because everything you need to start selling is already there from day one. And when you finally get that first customer, Spotify checkout makes it easy for them to actually finish the purchase. Returning customers can have their details saved. So it's basically one tap and they're done. Shopify handles all the setup and checkout, giving you more time to focus on actually growing the business. I know from my perspective, having people and having systems like Shopify to help me out really saves me a ton of time so I can actually focus on the content, the actual business. And that can be the same case for you too. With Shopify, nothing stands between your idea and a real business. So go make one. Start your free trial at shopify.com/PatMayo. Start your free trial at shopify.com/PatMayo. You put in the work, it's time to get paid like it. Free trial at shopify.com/PatMayo. I'm trying to find the futures on what team is going to be the worst because I want to see where they...
Miami will be probably up there.
Well, the Cardinals are plus 250 to be the worst team. Then the Dolphins at plus 350. Then the Jets at plus 850.
What? The Jets are fine. Actually, I shouldn't say that, Cust.
The Raiders are 10-1. The Browns are 11-1. The Falcons, and then the Titans, then the Panthers. I think initially the Titans were a bit more down on that list. I wouldn't bet them to do that because I was looking. They play the Browns later on in the season.
Who's going to be the worst team in the league, Pat? Cardinals.
I think
Cardinals or Dolphins?
I think it's going to be the Browns. I don't understand what anyone sees in the Browns. Like that is easily my favorite under. Like you can like squint hard enough and make Cam Ward seem like, man, this guy's got talent. I look at this like Cleveland is returning the worst offense from last year and their defense is worse. How is this going to go well?
I'll make you a deal. You get I get the Dolphins and Cardinals. You can have the Browns.
So you get the two favorites, and I get the fifth underdog.
Yes, with odds. With odds. You tell me like I'm not a thief, but give me odds. You get Cleveland. I get.
Okay. How about you get the two? How about you get the two favorites? I get the field.
So I get. Okay, hold on. I get Cardinals and Dolphins. You get field.
Yeah.
I'll take that bet.
Okay.
We'll talk. Chicken wings. I can't fly to Halifax.
I'll make that bet.
No. We need a bet book. And I tell people this, like when we do shows, have the bet book, have it documented. I'm sick and tired of going, hey, you owe me $100.
You know what? I guarantee you there is an industrious listener out there who can be the official book of Pat, Cam, and Rob, and maybe George on the best bet show this season for bets we all make with each other. Because I will forget.
And I need cool bet, and I need Indianapolis 8.5. We'll talk after the damn show.
You say you'll do it? You want to commit to that, Jared?
I think so, yeah. As long as we make it clear that this is a bet that Cam wants, I think I can make that happen, yeah.
So $100. So
we'll go through it at the end of the year.
I get Cardinals, Dolphins, you get field.
But so back to my original point about the Browns. Like I squint, I see Cam Ward, I see upside there. There's a reason he was the first overall pick. I look at this Browns offense, George. I'm like, I don't know how they score points.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know how training camp is like optimism season and like everyone's having the best training camp of their life. And you got to almost throw that away. But whenever beat writers actually write something negative, you take that to heart because they very rarely do. This every day on Twitter, the comedy that is the quarterback battle in Cleveland between Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson. It's like every other tweet is, Deshaun Watson is picked. Shedeur Sanders overthrows his receiver. It's without a doubt the worst quarterback battle I have ever seen in my life.
The Cleveland Browns are going to win more games than people think.
They're not. Where do you rate their when you did your O-line rankings, George? Where did they rate?
You'll see.
I think we had him as like bottom 7. We had the Titans in the bottom 4. So that being said, I actually think Arizona is probably going to have the worst record. Because if you look at their first like 15 weeks, it's like a meat grinder, and their 3 easy games are at the end in the last month where they're probably going to be thinking tank.
Oh yeah.
That being said,
I wanted one more team, Pat. I want the Raiders, and then you can have field too.
You can't have the 3 fucking favorites. You've already made the bet. Can't change the
You
bet.
get the whole damn league.
Jared, I asked you for the league. You said yes. Jared wrote it. It's already in
the book.
It's in pen. It's in the book.
I got it.
Yeah.
Just be better. Like I'm saying, you know, I should have got 3, but anyway, I'll live with it. I'll live with it. Okay, George, you're right. Cardinals are going to tank Eli Manning to the Cardinals, please.
We actually bet some Commanders' worst record after.
The Commander. See, I'm scared.
When I say
want a third.
Rob and I, the group chat was discussing it.
I guess the case against Washington. I mean, Washington's odds are probably like ridiculous to be the worst team. What are they like? 25.
It was like
25
30 to 1.
30 to 1. Yeah, for a long shot. But the thing is, if Daniel goes down, Mariota's good enough to win a few games, it feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more about like the O-line now becoming one of the worst in football with Tunsil going down and like not loving their weapons and not knowing about both coordinators and maybe Dan Quinn. Maybe there's some trouble in the building. And it's also about their brutal schedule. The Washington like starts the season at Philly, at Dallas, home to Seattle, neutral against Indy, home to Giants, at San Fran, home to Philly, home to the Rams, at Giants, home to Cincinnati. It's like if they have 1 win there or 2 wins, that 30 to 1, it's in play at least.
So I want to go back to the Browns for a second because I'm still formulating my case for their overall under. Worst offense in the league last year, worst special teams in the league last year, top 10 defense. Losing the best defensive player in the football, I feel like makes their defense worse. I get Jared versus good. He's not Myles Garrett.
I don't know what to say. I'm just saying I think the Browns are going to be better than people talk. I don't give a shit what people talk about in their stupid Twitter. Oh, these quarterbacks look like shit. Don't start Deshaun Watson. He's washed. Sanders will learn on the job. He'll make mistakes. Still, I think they're going to be in games. I think that there's no way the Cardinals are going to have a better record than the fucking Browns. No way. No way.
They have a better. I mean, they have real weapons on offense, and they have a they have a quarterback.
They're washed.
They have a quarterback who can complete a pass.
So Jacoby Brissett, he could barely move. He's getting older too.
If you put Jacoby Brissett on the Browns, he would instantly be their starter.
We'll see. I don't know, man. People are really down on Sanders. I'm not.
I have them as my 4th lowest wins for me this year.
Who, Browns?
Yeah.
So who do you got? Who do you got less? You got Miami,
Arizona, and Las Vegas.
And Vegas.
Miami and Arizona are neck and neck. Vegas is 3rd.
Yeah, I mean those are the 3 obvious
numbers.
teams.
Are the numbers of what's supposed to happen. Those are the odds.
Very
rarely is the team we peg to be the worst team actually the worst team.
I agree with that, Pat. And that's why I disagree with that's my take on the Browns. I know there's not a lot to like. You look at this team on paper, it's shit. But I'm going to tell you one thing, they're going to do better than people think. I think they're going to grind out some wins. I think Sanders is going to get better as the year progresses. And I think the Arizona Cardinals are going to be the worst, them or Miami. That's the bottom line.
I think Sanders being good would be great for football. At least great for shows like ours. And
I just want to come on during the year and say I'm not such a whatever. I think the Browns can play. I don't think they're going to be as bad as people think.
Sanders will be good for content if he's good. Like when Tebow was good for that half of the year, it was amazing.
Also, like being a disaster could be really good for content. I just don't want him to be mediocre. I want him to be like worst quarterback we've ever seen or good.
I'll take mediocre for wins over. Don't be brutal. You're right for content. I don't give a shit. I care about bets. You know what I mean? Well, our content will be fine. Good, bad, ugly, it doesn't matter.
We'll know how the Browns are going to fare this year very early. By week 5, we'll know if they're hitting their win total or not because they go Carolina, Pittsburgh, Jets weeks 3, 4, and 5. If they can't win one of those games, they cooked.
The Jets. Don't we like the Jets this year, Pat?
You like the Jets this year. You keep bringing them up.
Yeah, Cuss was wearing his Jets hat on that video that I saw too.
Yeah, but he's now down on the Jets. He was up. He
perfect.
He went from 14 wins to 6 wins very quickly. So
excellent. Tell him 1 win. Just they're going to be the shittiest team in the league. Perfect.
How does that happen? What variable changed?
That's
where you knocked up.
I don't know. Him waking up.
Yeah, he woke up.
The wind shifted.
The guy had a fucking brio instead of a coffee. I don't know what the fuck's going on. This guy, he says what he wants to say and changes his picks on the fly. Pat will tell you. I get from this team to this team to this team to this team and he's a great guy. But
I get slowly de-escalating your opinion. but like 8 wins in a matter of like 3 weeks, changing that, like that is quite a turn.
That's what he does. And by the way, Pat, I want to position. Cuss has his little judge thing. I want to be the guy like who goes against the judge. Like I'm the jury. That's what we're gonna do. We're on his takes and all this bullshit. I had to call it out. That's the way it's gonna happen.
Cam's appeals court is what you want?
Yes, Cam's appeals court. That's exactly what I want. You could trademark it. You said it first, but that's exactly what I'm looking for. Cam's appeals court. So I come up with bullshit. You're right, George. 14-6. Like, Jeff, in what fucking world are the Jets going to win 14 games? Can you just start at 7?
Pat, I thought judges were supposed to be like even keel, take in the information.
No, they're not.
Well, in fairness, Cuss does. When Cuss acts as Judge Cuss, he is pretty level-headed and fair.
Yeah,
the robe really sets him in the right mindset. Then,
yeah, 14 wins for the Jets. Yeah, and that's a guy you're going to be listening to with a verdict. Fuck that shit. I'm in.
All right. Well, here's one for you, Cam. We'll set you up. You for this show can be Judge Cussed. Okay.
Yep.
The other morning, I was at McDonald's drive-thru and ordered a sausage, egg, cheese, biscuit meal with a round egg instead of a folded egg. I got my order and drove away and realized they had given me a McGriddle. I parked, got out of my car with my receipt, and after standing awkwardly at the pickup counter, the cook in the back pointed me out and I was helped. I showed them the receipt and they replaced my sandwich with no problem. 2 questions. Would you have gone back inside after being given the wrong item? I almost just left and ate the McGriddle. 2, should they let me keep the original sandwich, seeing as the worker immediately tossed it in the trash after taking it back from me? I worked at McDonald's 15 years ago and we were told to do the same thing, but sometimes I ate it. I let them keep it or I indeed did throw it away. It depended on the day. What would you do?
Well, you did the right thing. If you didn't get your order, you can go back, but I'm going to tell you something. People, I've worked in many restaurants. People piss like shit and spit on food. So be very careful with what you're going to do. With a McGriddle sandwich and the guy's in a good mood, it's fine. You should be able to keep the second sandwich. Back in the day, when you went to Shoppers Drug Mart and there wasn't a price on the thing, you got that item for free. They don't do that anymore. It's not my fault if the person fucked up the tag. That's on them. So you know what? I'm with you. But the fact that you went back, I know myself, I would have thought the guy would spit in my sandwich. I would have ate the McGriddle and drove away. But you, as a consumer, you wanted a folded egg. You wanted a specific sandwich, and you got the McGriddle with syrup probably. Who asked for syrup? Say you got diabetes. I'm going to tell you this. You get both sandwiches, but be careful returning food. People spit in it. But you did the right thing, Patrick. And you deserve your second sandwich. If not thrown out, you should be able to eat it. They fucked up the first.
What's your take over you? Instead of Judge Cam, we go Cam's court.
Yeah, like, am I right, or how do you feel about that assessment? You should get both sandwiches. Yes, they screwed up your first sandwich. Okay,
well,
and you went back and got it done.
For me, it would depend. Like if I looked in it and it was a sandwich that I like, I would probably just eat that.
Me too.
Be very careful though returning food. I've worked in a lot of kitchens. Some guys are dicks.
Don't tell Cuss that. He believes that everyone is on the up and up, that no one would ever. He's like, who would ever tamper with food?
Has Cuss ever worked in a kitchen?
No.
I worked at the Keg. I worked at like shitholes. I worked in every fucking tavern. I've worked in kitchens since I was 11 years old. Dish pig, the prep cooked or whatever. So Cuss, here's the difference. Stay in your lane. I don't work for the Canadian government. I can't tell you how to do your job. But I'm going to tell you one thing. There's a lot of fucking evil people in kitchens and a lot of people with vendettas. You return food, there's a lot of bad things that can happen. Just saying.
So you would eat it too, George?
If I like the sandwich, I would eat it. I'm a guy who's like minimal confrontation. I'm like,
me too, George. You give me the wrong thing. Like I want 2 sandwiches. I'd try to find a way to get 2, but I'm just eating it and driving away in my Corolla.
Well, I'm the opposite of you, George. I'm very pro confrontation. It's one of my favorite things to do. Less so now that I'm a little bit older. But I also don't like wasting my time by like, oh, I had to look in this bag. Now I have to go back in. Like, how much time is this going to take?
Time is money.
Yeah, I'd rather do something else. If it was something that I liked in the first place. Like if I ordered, let's say I ordered a junior bacon cheeseburger and it came, but it was without cheese. I'd be like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I'm with you. Who gives a shit? It's fast food anyway.
It also depends on the price. Like if I order a steak one way and they bring it out not the right way, I have
That's the thing. If we're dealing with scallops and steaks and 5-star fucking and oysters and great shit like that, yeah, I'm going nuts. Yeah. It's fucking McDonald's. It's fast food. And Cuss, I'll say this to you again. Don't make opinions on things you don't do.
No. Okay? No, that will kill the entire network, Cam.
Okay, well, fine. I'm just telling you, I've worked in kitchens and people do a lot of bad things to food. No, you don't want to know about it.
Let him think that it's all on the up and up and nothing bad will ever happen to your food when you complain about it.
Yep. There's nobody will ever do anything to anything. Yep. Everything's cool.
I've
Yeah.
definitely never seen a bag of cocaine be done in the walk-in cooler. Have that cocaine then on the food. Yeah, definitely never seen that. Not
Why
one
would you put
time.
cocaine on food? Cocaine's expensive.
Well, I think when he's saying that, I think he's saying it fell out onto the food.
Look at George. He's like, can we talk offensive lines of of the Jaguars? No, I love you, George. Like, I'm just going to tell you, Cuss, don't listen to this guy. And the fact that he's off the Jets now is good for business.
Oh, he'll be back in on the Jets in like 3 days. This we know.
When he hears me going off, going off on him for sure.
They win week 1 against the Titans. That number is shooting up 4 extra wins
He
again.
probably will.
He had a meltdown when he found out they were playing the Titans week 1 because it was so unfair that Saleh had to play the Jets. That's just unfair to the Jets.
Whatever. It's okay. I can't. I don't even know what to say anymore. Anyway, I want to be the attorney to his judge. Okay?
Well, all the division previews are done. Psalms 1. We will do the NFC South at some time in the next 2 weeks, and then Cam, we have the thing that you won last year, the win totals draft.
I won 2 years in a row, and I don't know how, George. Your boss, Pizzola there, it's funny. It's kind of like a horse race. I always come out, and at the end, I just find a way. Like it's like I'm coming 3 wide off the pace, and I'm fucking stone cold closer. Every year, it's gee off, whatever, and then I just I methodically just take these guys down at the end of the year. Pat, it's been 2 years in a row.
Yeah,
this guy.
They got a little bit I'm too smart for myself syndrome.
Thank you, George. Thank you.
Cam's just chugging along and just putting in good reps. That's the way to do it.
I love your style, George.
I also won the Hammers win draft. So these people, they're way too overconfident.
It's funny. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, that's the thing about, it's fun beating Pizzola, Pat, like, because he's talking with his machines and cyborgs and all the other bullshit electronics. I don't give a fuck. I can't wait. If I can win this year in 3-peat, I want a trophy.
Well, that's the guy I like. If I can win and stick it to Pizzola.
Yeah, you got it, George. Yeah,
that's the bonus.
Yeah.
Pizzola was telling me about the segment that you guys used to do, Cam, where it was Cam versus the machine, and you get very angry at the machine.
I go, yeah, fuck you, machine. I don't like your style. You're cheating. I'm like talking to a fucking machine, like he's a buddy. Like how I talk to the stuffed animals, like they're real. Like, me and the machine had a lot of problems. We worked it out. Sometimes we were friends, but the machine, who was Pizzola, knows how to push my buttons. Like, right, George? That guy can get you going. Pizzola's a great Pat. He's a good. You guys are great together. You guys as a team, it's very like a weird manager in wrestling. Like, you know what I mean? You know every trick in the book, every foreign object. Put it down your pants, slice me. You know what I mean? Like, you guys together, I'm actually scared.
So when Pizzola and I are together, it'd be like those 1989 Survivor series where the bad guys would all be on a team and all their managers would be out there. Bobby Heenan was out there, Slick was out there, Jimmy Hart was in a corner. It was all the tricks were being used.
That's the thing. I'm just sitting there like a stooge, just taking it from you guys. You got Mr. Fuji, all of them. Yeah, you guys
salt in the
together. Yeah. The great Kabuki, blinding dust. One of my favorite weapons of all time, the green blinding dust. They got to bring that shit back. Hey, kids, I know wrestling. You know what? More foreign objects, more dust, more managers.
So I do think that if we reverted back in time and we had to play a character and Rob and I were wrestling managers, I would easily be Bobby Heenan. And
for sure.
I think it's pretty clear that Pizzola would be Jim Cornette.
You nailed it.
Couldn't you see Pizzola with the tennis racket?
Yeah, I can see Pizzola with he's got a tennis racket rolling in. We need a guy with chess pieces and shit. Like remember Leaping Lanny Poffo?
Oh, the genius
on the back of the previews. Yeah. Amazing shit. Like back then they had real characters, man. Like wrestling's got to get more creative, figure it out. Get some ideas.
It's the cocaine. The cocaine's missing.
Whatever. I don't care what drugs it is. If it's speed, mushrooms, cocaine, dude, just do better. Like
all they have to do apparently is go into the walk-in fridge at any restaurant. We'll be fine. There's just a dealer waiting in there for you.
Well, Pat, I used to work at the Keg, and this guy that I worked with did whippets. Fuck, I saw him on the floor.
Did you work at the Keg in 1978?
No, I actually was probably 92. It was when the Blue Jays won the World Series. I remember I was working a shift. I gave my tailor-made. My buddy didn't want to work a shift. He gave me a tailor-made driver. I worked his shift. It was the night the Blue Jays that was when they beat the Phillies. But I had a Keg party when they won their first World Series against Atlanta. And I will say this. A lot of these guys are working these kitchens too. Be careful with whipped cream and aerosols. These guys fucking they huff it like paint.
There's your tip for the day, George.
Yeah.
Apparently, the restaurant industry deserves its own expose of.
There's more suicides in restaurants. I think just after dentists or whatever. And I'm bringing empirical data to the table. This is not made up. Take a look at it. A lot of restaurant business is tough as fuck. It is a hard job. day after day after day. Like a lot of cooks, they go nuts. It's very difficult.
George, where can everyone find you, and where does your content live?
I work and do content for the Hammer, specifically the Ford Progress division, and you can find us during the football season. Best bet shows, watch-alongs. We do a little bit of everything.
All right. Follow him on X as well, along with Gaming. Follow me at the PME. Sub to Mayo Media Network. Smash a like to the episode. Tell some friends because we got a lot of football coming at you. If you missed any of the shows already, hit the show notes and catch up. All right? I'll see you next time.
So what did he say? There's cocaine in walk-in fridges?
No, I think Jared said that when he worked in the kitchen, he went back and there was guys doing blow in the.
Oh yeah,
no,
he's right.
My assistant
you're right,
manager
Jared.
went
You're
in
right.
there, and the fans were going, and so we just obviously had a bunch of loose powder, and the powder went everywhere on all of the
that's
produce, all
stupid.
of
You
the
do
meats.
it. Great call because you needed the fans to keep it cool. Like that's the worst place you can go. You need another cubby hole, or like when you work at a place, just go to the back, like where the crates are. You just sit there on your smoke break and just go there. Like I used to work at the Movenpick. The fucking manager was a fucking drug addict. Like he used to come back there, sniff, puff, whatever. Like smoke doobs and anything. Like he was going on. I'm telling you though, the restaurant industry per capita, George, like those guys putting the whipped cream on the pies, like they're getting fucking high on the product.
I had a buddy the same thing. It's the rushes, right? Like you're just constantly under this pressure. It's not easy.
It's a hard business.
My old kitchen manager also used to do. We used to wear hats, and he would put tabs of LSD in the sweatband of his hat.
Wow,
yeah,
Jared, I didn't know you knew so many badasses here.
Yeah, he was also 60 odd, so like I don't know how badass it was, but fuck, here we are.
Experience!